Well. Good evening, FPL managers. Welcome to another episode of the FPL Ambassador Show. It's good to have you all. And Roland keeps on sneezing, so it's making me know whether I should continue introducing the show or I should wait for him. But anyway, welcome, guys. I think we have Precious with us once again. Precious, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. And of course, we have the FPL Ambassador himself, Raymond Nketsiah. Talk to us. What's going on?
Charlie, I'm good. Sorry.
Wonderful.
Glad to have Precious back with us.
Yes, of course. And there's sneezing Roland. Charlie, good evening. I think
Roland is a bit delayed.
Yes, I think Roland's a bit delayed. So, Ray, you can take us.
Okay, good. So we are entering double game week 28, where our challenge is that the Chelsea double game week has finally been announced against Norwich. You know, we have been planning for double game week 28 all this while, and finally Chelsea comes to join it. And managers are actually, was confirmed yesterday. And the point is, which of these Chelsea guys do we add to the plans that we have earlier on? So by the end of the show, we'll be able to sort all of these issues out there. Okay, so we're reminding managers to subscribe to the channel, help us grow the channel as well. And then the mini league, we are closing it quite very soon. So let's all help grow the channel. We are on 223. Our target for the season is 1K. So we are a little bit off. We are way off, but managers are going to help us and as they kept us to now. So Roland, obviously you are sneezing. Roland, how was your game with 27? How was it?
It was another bad week for me again. I think this has been my 19th or 20th red arrow in 27 games.
Hey, what kind?
So as of now,
Give me your 19th
red arrow. 19th red arrow in 27 games.
Is it that you give me a red arrow from game week 19, or is it
no. 19 red arrows overall the whole season. He's gotten 19 red arrows out of 27 game week. And now Roland.
Hey, how do you count that?
That's it. So I was
I'm not going to stop. Stop.
You go to the main site, you check.
It's not even possible.
Anyway,
how can you have 19 red arrows and you are
where I started and where I am now, I don't even consider myself.
Continue.
What?
Continue.
I'm sure he's delayed.
Okay, so like I'm saying, I think I went in for Cancelo and De Bruyne last week. Most managers were going for Mahrez and Sterling. I also fell for the De Bruyne trap, and it turned out that it didn't go so well. Cancelo got the 9 points, but the rest of the team was rubbish. Went for Vegas as the captain. That was also rubbish. So Charlie, my mind has been off FPL. When you are bombing, it's like you even forget the game. But when you are doing well, you forget. You are gingered every time. You want to be up for the score. I think that has also taken its toll. And not to give excuses, but I mean, it's been very downhill since work got intense for me. But all in all, I have to take it on the chin and move on. So that's about it.
Okay. From one bad person to another ways. I have been playing around 900,000, 1 million for about 12 weeks now. I move forward, I go back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but finally I'm moving forward. Bit by bit, I'm moving forward. I need to finish quite well this season. I went for, I was talking to you about Kane and Mahrez versus Weghorst and Son. I thought about it for 1 whole week. And Marvin, can you imagine a Thursday night after the show when I was sleeping, the thing was in my head. I was balancing the time, but yes, I couldn't. Finally, all through lunch on Friday, I couldn't decide. Charlie, because when I analyzed, it looked like it's all the same. So I don't see. But finally, I said no. Let me get Kane, because if I get Kane, it can allow me to get a very good midfielder anytime soon. So when I knew the Chelsea guys might double, and then I wasn't willing to keep Weghorst for too long. So that was what I decided, and I went captain Kane, and Kane has propelled me small. Me find a sound and -4 to move on beyond my team. Precious, please, your team. Today there will be a team short.
Oh, excuse me. I made one transfer. I
Top-notch manager.
It wasn't a very good transfer, but how can I for do? I transferred out Josh King for Vegas. I fell into that trap. Everybody was hyping him, but at the same time, it's not like I didn't have enough money for Kane, because right now the only forward I trust is Kane.
Okay.
But considering that I didn't play a free hit,
Sure.
and it was kind of a blank game week, I think I did okay. It's just the captain. It's just Vegas. I got swindled. In fact, I shouldn't have brought in a belly strike, right? But still, I got a green arrow. So
A green arrow. Well done.
I appreciate.
So you are in the top 50K, just outside the top 40K worldwide, and we are looking forward to you finishing very well this season. What's your target for this season? Before we go on, where you sit at now?
If I can enter top 10K, that would be good. If I can enter top 10K, but I'm not. I just want this season to be my best season ever, because I think my best season before was top 25K. So anything better than that is okay. It means I'm improving.
Yeah, improving. Sure. And we are also glad to have you here. So I was the only one who didn't captain Weghorst. Marvin, the Weghorst party.
Yeah, I joined the Weghorst party myself. The most useless transfer ever. I think if I just Antonio, he'd have even given me that first point, which was 5 points. Yeah, so I joined the Weghorst party. I brought in Weghorst and Son. I think Son gave me 9 points or so. I took a -4, so that's 53. It's not that bad, considering, as Precious said, that quite a lot of managers did some tactics to free hit this
Charlie.
and City assets, especially, which I think if you didn't have Foden, pretty much backfired. But like Precious wouldn't even wildcard. He has the double up on the defense, which is very good. So yeah, Dallo didn't play any Jimmy B. So I ended up have 10 players. United, yeah. I don't want to start United. I'll just get points or whatever. I know you'd have gotten a better game than 1v7. But anyway, Ralph did it, and I had 10 players. But anyway, I had, as I said, 53 points, which compared to people who created, it's not that bad. So
the Man City boys disappointed boys, pal, because I the free Charlie who were triple Man City and stuff, and then Charlie, all the boys.
Watkins finally scored. Yeah, all these things. Watkins finally scored. Livramento, I wasn't even sure if he was going to start. And then he also did the job for me. So
the job for you. Okay.
Charlie, I can't complain too much.
Okay.
Hey, Charlie, Precious, what's your name on FPL Ambassador? Let me start following you sharp. I mean, I'm from a need too.
Yes, so Precious is in the top 10.
In the top 10,
yes, in the top 10 of the league right now.
Wonderful.
He's doing very, very, very well. So
maybe I think the top 25 Kent. How long have you been playing FPL for?
Winning Hallelujah.
Since 2014. Yeah.
Actually, you have some good finishes. Okay.
So our take, Marvin, your take, you had Sa.
Blast. Walker
didn't play. Pep did it. Son did well. Broya has been missing out the points since we started singing him. Elanga had some chances and missed it. And Captain Weghorst. Charlie. So let's leave 27 behind us.
Let's leave, because this week was a bomb week.
Yes. So Marvin, 28 game week 20. It's a double game week. What are your key things you should note there?
Okay, so for goalkeepers, I've gone for Dubravka. The reason being that if you look at Newcastle's games, they really tightened up and
Sure.
have been very good since, of course, they got in a lot of players after the January transfer window. They've they are an attacking side, but they've been keeping clean sheets as well and have been good defensively. Dubravka has two game weeks, of course, one against Brighton and the other against Southampton. I'm sure he's going to at least get a clean sheet or get some save points. So I think he's going to do well, and that's why I've gone for him. In defense, I've gone for Walker Peters. If you've seen his previous games, he's really been good for Southampton as well. I think he's nailed on compared to possibly the other wing backs or the other
Good.
fullbacks for Southampton. I think he did very well. Those who brought him on the free hits as well, I think got 9 or so points, which is very good. Southampton also have, of course, have two game weeks, two good games. Of course, they are playing Aston Villa and are also playing Newcastle, which I think Walker Peters is going to do well. In midfield, I've gone for Coutinho. He also has great fixtures. He's playing against a Leeds side who have been leaky. I know Leeds have got a new coach now. They sacked Bielsa, but I don't think they can possibly just turn it over overnight. So I still think that they will still have some leaky defense. So that's why I've gone for Coutinho. He is playing against Southampton and against Leeds, and I think there are two good games for him, which I think he can perform. I've gone for Jimenez number one because when it comes to the ones who start, he is the main man, number one. Number two, I know he didn't start the previous game week, but I'm looking at it that he's had a good rest now and he's ready to carry on the rest of the season. Number three, they have two good home games, one against Crystal Palace, one against Watford. And if there are going to be any goals, it's going to go through him. So that's what I've gone for.
One goal
As a
project.
as a differential pick, I've gone for Ismail Assar. I think he is brimming with confidence after the AFCON. I think he's gradually getting back
please,
to speed
please,
with the
please,
game.
please. He's a AFCON. How do you call it? Champion.
Sorry,
Add that to
AFCON champion.
add that to it. Add that to
He's an
it.
AFCON champion as well. I mean, their fixtures look a bit tricky, of course, because they are facing Wolves and they are facing, I think, are facing Wolves and Watford, if I'm correct. However, if
Mm,
there's going to be, I think he was involved in their last goal or so, and he looks lively. And because he also has a double game week, I've gone for Ismaila Sarr. Now for captaincy, you see, Wegos has bent me number one, and I know I'm sure we'll discuss captaincy going forward.
okay.
But this week, I'm just too confused. So if I'm too confused, I just want to go for a safe pick, which is
A
Mo
safe
Salah,
pick.
which I can trust.
Momo.
And since
Momo.
Lagos has bent me, I'm sure maybe I'm thinking maybe Salah can also outperform some of the double game week. People are going to be in the double game week. Plus, he has his rest as well. He didn't play midweek in the FA Cup, so that's why I've gone for Salah. He's a safe pick. I just don't know who to trust in terms of other captaincy, so that's why I've gone for Salah. So those are my picks for the game week.
Okay. Precious, anything to talk about before we look at Roland's pick? Any key points to note from here?
Um, the Walker Peters pick is very good because I've seen the last two of Southampton's games. He is very dangerous. He looks dangerous on the wing. So I like that pick. Yeah, the Dubravka pick too. It's a high upside pick because I think don't they have like two
Double. They have
doubles?
double
Yeah,
double.
they have
28,
Double,
28,
double, yeah.
29.
yeah. So that is also good. Um, Jimenez, yeah, I mean Jimenez. If what Wolves scores, he's just going to be part of it like 60% of the time. The one that I would say that one I'm not sure because I was also thinking about this is Coutinho. That
Ooh.
name sounds sexy, but the last three games, the last three games. See, the thing about Coutinho is if you watch him in the past, he likes
Sure,
shooting
sure.
from outside.
From outside, yeah,
And
sure.
like the last three games, he's only had one shot in the box,
Hmm.
and if you say you want to go for a safe pick, I think there are better options. But he has a double, so yeah, like that's one thing about Coutinho. Like, well, back when he was at Liverpool, I owned him. I owned him for a couple of seasons, and he's up and down. But when he's up, like he's a bonus points magnet. So that's a high upside pick. It's just that this season, I don't know, like there's not a lot of consistent performers, and so and then of course Ismail Assar, before he he got injured, he was Watford's best player. So that's a good pick. And yeah, Salah captain. Hey, that's a safe pick. Even in a single game week, Salah can now score in a double
game week. Yeah. Okay. Roland, some of our partners was asking. No, I think Marvin. He was asking why Jimenez and Juan. Jimenez or Juan? Are you really sure about them? About those two guys?
So as I said, if there are goals going to come out of a game, it's going to come from normally Jimenez. Juan, if people are looking to free hit, Juan is somebody I would look at, just because you can have a good punt on Juan. He's just explosive, but
he can vanish as well.
Yeah, exactly. So if somebody's going to free hit and wants to take a punt on one, I think that's a good pick. But for long-term pick, I wouldn't go for Juan.
Long-term Jimenez. Okay. Roland.
Yeah.
Charlie,
So
how's your head? Okay. Continue.
Goalkeeper, I've gone for Edward Mendy. I believe in the beginning of the season, Precious, you had him, and he kept giving you points after points after points. Chelsea is good when it comes to clean sheets, so that's one of the things that we should look out for. With the dilemma that managers are facing with, should I bring in Rudiger? Should I bring in Thiago Silva, James? You just go in for the safest pick out of them. You get Mendy, and that's it. It most likely makes a lot of saves, and then also he racks up the bonus points when they keep clean sheets. So it's one player you should be looking out for if you really want to get on the Chelsea bandwagon this week.
Okay.
Then defender, I've gone in for Saiz. Saiz has they've really duped a lot of managers.
What was defense? They had a double and they didn't get one clean sheet. Hey, this boy
to put it mildly, like again, when we said with the Vegas train that we all joined, that Twitter can make you choose players that your mind isn't even on, and Saiz is one of them. In fact, he's good. I mean, I've watched the past two Wolves games because I have Saiz. I have a player, or I have players in the team. I haven't really watched their games, but I just you have an overview of the games that they play, and he's not that bad. He's been having some headers saved and all of that. So with a double, hopefully, not just because he's in my team, but I think that people have placed, a lot of managers have placed their hopes in Wolves defenders. So if you have any Wolves defender, hopefully this will be the week that at least one clean sheet will be okay.
One clean sheet will have to drop.
Yes. Any other point gained would be a bonus. Then I've gone in for James Ward-Prowse. It's very simple. It was one of the picks that you could look at and easily say, okay, I'm having him, because he's going to play 180 minutes straight. There is no benching headache. There's no substitution headache there. He's going to play all the games and he'll play full throttle. So, managers, the first thing we usually look out for is a player who plays both games. That's why I've gone safe with Mendy. I've been safe with Saiz, and also with, again, I'm going with JWP. He's on free kicks. He's on penalties. He's on corner kicks. The guy is good. So I just think that he should continue playing the way he's playing, and he'll be able to help managers. Hopefully, if you have him and he has a penalty, then you're in luck, because yesterday he scored a penalty. Also, Watkins wouldn't have been in this team, but for his performance last week, yes, I had a sneaky feeling he'd be dropped, and yes, he was dropped. I think in 26. Then he comes back in 27, and he gets his goal. So confidence. So definitely, that's one player who's going to play 180 minutes. I actually envy those who have Watkins because I have Coutinho. I think that Watkins will play closer to goal. I haven't seen many games of Coutinho though, but he's not looking like Precious was saying, just one shot outside the box also. He's not looking that great. I think I watched the latter part of the Brighton game and he was way back in midfield, which is not ideal for a player who you are looking for to gain new points. So even Ramsey was way ahead of him. So if you have Watkins, you have Ramsey. To me, they are the better picks, right?
Okay.
Then differential play, I've gone in for Willock. Willock was really good to me last season. He was one of the main reasons why I was able to oust Precious. But
And oust Marvin as well.
yes,
Added
very well. Yes, it's very true.
to
So, I'm going him back for my boy. He's looked good. He just keeps taking over. I think one of the very important comments that Precious made was that there isn't consistency in the game. So the chopping and changing is what is costing managers. I have said over time on this show that it's not about my changes that have cost me, but it's about the fact that the players that I've brought in don't have the consistency to follow up. So you send out, you buy a player, he gives you two, and the player you sold him for also gives you two. So in effect, you've lost four. So it's like every week. That's all I've been trying to do. You sell one player, he gives you two. You go and buy the next player, he gives you two. If you're not even careful, he gives you one. So like Bowen did last week, got a needless yellow card just at the end of the game. So last year I've gone in for Captain Rafinha.
Yes.
If I'm looking at Jesse March's teams, what I'm thinking is Rafinha may just not play on the left. He may play a number 10 role. I'm not too sure anyway.
With us,
Playing the number 10 role. He may end up playing the number 10 role. So it is something that we should look out for. And there's no opportune time to take that gamble if you don't have him to try and get him in because that new manager bounce can have effect on them. They have 2 games that they are playing. So this is the team that I have set up for 28. So if guys have any suggestions or any comments to make, you can go ahead. I'll gladly accept them.
I think you've covered the double game weekends very well because in a double game week like this, normally what you are doing as a manager is you are trying to gain a transfer that will help you get a player that might play 2 games. So you look at your team. So it's that's why we as in the FPL Ambassador we try to give a variety because everybody's team is different. So based on how your team setup is, then you might look whether to go for a defender. And if a defender, which defender to get, which midfielder to get as well. So I think that's good there. I don't know if Precious or Marvin want to say something about the team, and then we can move.
I was considering all those players, maybe except for Willock, but now that Marvin has mentioned a Newcastle player and so has Rowland, I think I need to because they are at the bottom of the table, so like I wasn't considering them at all. But like I want to look at their stats. I want to look at Willock's stats, and I mean the last 3 game weeks, it's been good. So I think what I'll do is this double game week, I'll watch them, see how they play, and then I'll consider them for the next game week. But he's like Roland and I are on the same wavelength with a lot of these picks, and I think I'll talk about it later when it's time for me to talk about my team for this week.
Sure.
But Precious, would you choose somebody like a Willock or you go for Coutinho?
Or I'll go for this game week. I'll go for Coutinho because I have more. I know more about Coutinho than I know about Willock. Like I go for the devil I know. right? Than the Angel. Like I know Coutinho is one thing about him is he's up and down, but when he's up, I mean, he's one of the best, like in the league. If like at his best, right? So I would definitely if I had to pick between one of the two, I'd go for Coutinho. But I'm not going for either of them. Again, I'll talk about it later when we are talking about our teams for this week.
Marvin, you are getting some bashing in the
Forget
comments
some
area.
matchmakers. The way he is in the table, we don't even consider it.
Okay. So the challenge we have now. So we have been looking at how the games have been going for a while. We finished with 27 now. So 28, the teams that are doubling are Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds, Newcastle, Southampton, Watford. Now, all the good thing about this game week is this game week has a lot of budget players. These players are a lot of budget players. The players in these teams are quite a lot of budget players. And what noticing that Chelsea and then Norwich has now officially been added. So it brings the Chelsea guys into perspective and the Norwich guys into perspective. That was just added just yesterday. Now, this week might be a good week to bench boost if you have a strong bench of these what do you call it? Cheap players. They're cheap players from Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds, Newcastle, Saints, and then Norwich. Not even Norwich and Watford. You can bench boost. Otherwise, you can decide to rather bench boost in 29 because normally the bench boosting that means you have some players playing double game weeks. But the thing about next week the teams that are doubling are Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs, Brighton, Everton, and Liverpool. These are quite expensive players. So sometimes it's quite difficult to bench boost with these players. But somebody will say better to buy players who are quality players and then bench boost. So you can have these fill your team. If you are doing a wild card, those who want wild card can do a team of these 29 game week 29 players, and then have a mixture of players from this week, and then you bench boost next week, which is it's quite very tricky because most of the teams that are doubling next week are also blanking in the game week 30. So it raises a very great challenge for us as well. But these are things that managers need to look. Whatever happens, we are having some teams blanking in game week 30. And the teams that are playing game week 30 are Wolves, Aston Villa, Leeds, Brentford, Arsenal, Leicester. These six. Now, yesterday was confirmed that West Ham and Tottenham are officially joining. So at least now it makes it a little bit easier to navigate because you have Spurs and then West Ham, Bowen and then Son and Kane. So it becomes easier for us to navigate it. But managers should be looking at these players. So if you have Wolves, Aston Villa, Newcastle, the players you are buying for 28, don't sell them in 29 because you need them in 30. These are key points that managers need to note as we are moving forward. The game is becoming this game. I think this is the only thing I've seen the fixtures. You can have double here, blanket. It's like two continuous, and we shift here small, we shift here small. But no matter how it is, we'll be able to navigate it as very good managers. So now, what is happening in that some managers are planning on wild carding this week. You know you can't play two chips in the game week. So if your team is set up for a bench boost this week, then you can bench boost. Otherwise, you can bench boost in double game week 36. We are expecting a bench boost in double game week 36. But then if you are wildcarding this week to attack the games, then it means most likely you have to bench boost in 29. But then know that you should be planning for 30 as well. So what I did was I tried to come up with a theme, a wildcard team in 28 that can help managers navigate 28, 29, and then 30. That said, managers can wildcard in 31 after the blanks because that is quite easier because when we are done, almost all the games are quite very clear from there. So this is how I set the wildcard team for 28. So I have Ramsdale in pool. I have Rudiger, Alexander, Arnold, and then Robertson. So these are the three main guys in the 3-5-2 formation. So Rafinha, Salah, Saka, Bowen, Coutinho this week, and then I have Kane, Mopai, and then Broha. Now this week, we have Kane, and then Broha playing because they are doubling. And then this week you have Rafinha, Coutinho doubling. But then in next week, Salah and then Saka will also double. And then Rudiger is doubling this week. Now, what you can do is you can decide to have a double. What I did, I just wanted a Trent slot, Robertson and Trent slot double up here. So you can have Robertson here, but rather double up with the Chelsea defense for this week, and then next week you can bring Robertson. But just make sure that you have enough funds to be able to get the money to bench boost next week, because Leicester, I think Leicester will have a double next week as well, and the Wolves have some manageable games as well. It's quite tricky because I've thought about this thing for a very long time, and I'm not able to find a way around it such that you can have a very good team for 28, 29, and 30 by wild carding now. So my personal advice is, if you look at your team and you can just do 1 or 2 transfers in this 28 and then another 2 transfers maybe in 29, that is okay. And then after 30, the blanks, then you wild card. But if you really want to wild card, then your team needs to have a mix of players for 28, 29, and then have enough players for 30. So if you look at this team, in 30, you have Kane, you have Rafinha, and that is why I've kept Bowen, because I'll need Bowen in 30. So Bowen, you have Coutinho and you have Saka. And then at the back is when you struggle, because you have Amate and then you have Aït-Nouri. So, and then you have Ramsdale. So then around that time, you can get either an Arsenal defender or you can get Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy is officially back as well. So this is the wildcard team. Any comments, any suggestions? What players do you think I should have changed with when I was coming up with this wildcard team? Marvin, Precious.
Does Mope play in game week 30?
No, Mopai does not play in 30.
So if
but he's doubling next week. So that's the rationale.
What I would possibly have done with regards to the Mope is, considering if he's fit, I would have gone for somebody like Saint. I don't say Maximum, yeah, because he has 2 doubles back to back.
He's not confirmed yet.
Mope because I just prefer him to Mope pretty much.
Yes, so he's not confirmed yet, but a press conference can be confirmed tomorrow. So if he's fit, then as Marvin is saying, say Maximum, Newcastle, the way Newcastle are playing is quite way better than Mopai. I would have gone for Willock in the middle, but the only thing is that Willock is not playing in blank game week 30, so I chose Bowen. Bowen in 1 game we can do, even though he has worried Rowland for last week. I think Bowen can still do well there. Yes, any comments, any players that you think should have come in the wildcard team, because we are giving out to my managers to look at. Any critique there?
So Mope is not playing game week 30, right?
No, Mope is not playing game week 30.
Okay. So but then looking at this team, okay, yeah. Then if he's not playing game week 30, why don't we consider, because I don't trust, like Marvin.
You don't trust Mope?
I don't trust him.
Oh,
no. The reason I didn't take Saint Maximum was Saint Maximum is not fit, is not declared fit yet. But if he's declared fit maybe by tomorrow, then Saint Maximum is better. And I think Saint Maximum is 6.9 or 6.8 as well. So I need to go and chop some fans from somewhere as well, Charlie. That's the challenge. No, but it depends on the price of your team, because some teams you might have value in a player, so then you can have that extra 0.3 to buy Saint Maximum. But I think we all agree Saint Maximum is better than Mopai, right?
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, I was come to recommend Shea Adams, but then he's also priced out of this. He's more expensive than
77 million now.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want to do that depends if you trust like the Wolf defense, but unless you downgrade somebody like Mope to a player who is not playing and then upgrade, maybe actually no, but Amate plays in 30, so that defeats the purpose.
And then you know that you are bench boosting next week. You are bench boosting next week, where Arsenal have double games, Liverpool have double games, Chelsea has a very good game, and then you have Spurs also having a double game.
Who do you trust more, Mope or Chris Wood?
Please, can you move for it?
Hold on, because Chris Wood has a double. Like, who is Mope facing? Let me go and check. Who has Mope facing?
It's facing Spurs. It's facing. I think it was facing Spurs and something. Spurs, right. And then
Mope. Let me see. Okay, Mope.
But
Game week 29. He's at home to Liverpool and at home to Tottenham.
Oh,
Chris Wood has.
it's,
Chris Wood has. I can't remember. He has.
it's
He
okay.
has
It's
three
okay.
good fixtures, double.
Masa,
Oh. So it is you.
what?
So no. So are you
Mopa
trying
is God. Mopa is God. Please, Mopa. We are
Okay,
going to
see.
use this boy.
Do you think Mope
I
would
think
have?
that
It's 4 games versus 2. Do you think Mope would have scored Chris Wood?
Mopa out. Chris Wood or Saint Maxima in.
One thing I will say, Chris Wood has outscored Mope the last 3 seasons. He has scored more goals than Mope the last 3 seasons. So
Mope Mope.
Rowland Ekuban.
Let's ask him.
You guys, I think that we are overlooking Dennis. They have a game week in 30, right?
No, they don't.
30. No, they don't.
Okay, because but for the fact that you are playing a 3-5-2, I would have preferred having Dennis in there so that I play a 3-4-3. I bench
please.
Bowen.
They have a game. It depends on Everton's result. Is Everton's result confirmed yet?
Oh, Everton will score, but who are they even playing?
Anything can happen. So if the Everton progress, then it means that game will be out. The Everton game will be out.
What I'm looking at is if I have Dennis in the team, they are scrapping for their survival, right? So having Dennis, why don't I just keep Bowen on the bench? Then if they don't play in the 30, Bowen comes in and then Dennis drops to the bench. Because I think they have another favorable game next week.
So Southampton.
Yeah. Okay.
And he looks like the outlet, the best outlet that they have. Marvin mentioned Chris Wood, and I'm beginning to, you see, before we came on the show, I was looking at some stats, and he has a good record against. Which team is he playing? Which team is he playing first?
This week he's playing Brighton, and then he's playing Southampton.
Yeah, he scored 8 goals against Brighton in the past 4 seasons or so.
No.
So it's something that you can also look at. Yeah, he hasn't scored since coming into Newcastle, but you can tell it's coming, right? They are not playing to his strengths. That's why they are not seeing the output. You know, St. Maximan is greedy. Then Willock is also another greedy player. You know, Fraser keeps crossing the ball, but it's always over the head of Wood. So I wonder what is crossing.
Wait, since Chris Wood came, has he scored in the Premier League?
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't. But it is as a result of the way they play their soccer. That's what I'm talking about.
You're saying, the man with the eyes, you're saying that Chris Wood is going to score this week, right? Okay. Roland has given the chance out there. So,
but preferably, I'll go for Dennis because, I mean, looking at the fixtures that they have, 29, even in 30, with this team that you have, Bowen just comes in for him. I think it's a good deal. So, managers, if you still have him, keep him.
Don't sell Dennis. Keep him. Okay. Yeah. So moving on. So you managers, if there are any comments, you can bring your comments here whilst we look at our plans as well. What are the key things that you need to in the limits, things that they need to do? So Rowland, this is your team. What are you doing this week?
This week, I can't do anything because doing things.
So will you keep Arnold, Saka, and Kenny on your bench? Let me ask you. Are you going to keep Saka, Arnold, and Kenny on your bench, or what? If you say you're not going to do anything,
no, I won't do. If I won't do any change, I'm referring to I won't do any transfer. That's what I mean. So obviously, So first thing that comes to mind is to sell Bowen, because I think that's what to get him Rafinha, right?
Okay.
And then if I could get Salah back, I would, but I don't see it as a pressing need as of now, unless of course I decide to go. Maybe I want to get Rudiger, but I'm not a fan of Rudiger. I'm a fan of James. Even if he plays one game, he's better than Rudiger for me.
James boys, no. Okay.
So I'm thinking straight. It's either I get going out for Rafinha. Already I have Broja, so Ward Prowse is not really for me. He's not really the go-to
Don't
guy
like
or
Tombola.
someone. Yeah. The fact that they also miss out on 30. Because I'm looking at this team whereby next week too, I'll have to get Salah in for the double. Right.
Okay.
So if I'm getting Salah and Robertson back, then it's like back-to-back -4s after my wild card. Right.
Wild card. Yeah.
Yes. I don't regret playing it, but I just think that the players just disappointed. So sometimes it's better, like the way Precious has been playing it throughout, just having patience with them. Right? Yeah, doing the chopping and changing is what is costing me as of now. That's why I was saying that if I even had my own way, I won't do anything to my team. So, I mean, you have Cancelo against United. United is beans. So you can use it like the way
No oil.
like the way no oil there. No
No
oil.
oil,
So
Charlie.
like the way I have Cancelo is good, right? So I don't really see the need for me to get change him. De Bruyne can play good against any team any day. So Salah this week, yes, he can score 10, 12 points. That's a given, right? But West Ham too are tough customers. So it's something that we also have to look out for.
Watch
But
out
Salah
for.
has a great record against West Ham. So you go against my own peril. That's it. So you have to also be careful about it. So for me, these are the three things I'm pondering: get Salah back, and then get Rafinha. Then I know, but
Are you?
either or I can go in for James and Rafinha. That's it. So it's either of these two, or just get Rafinha.
Matter. Don't do anything, as you
Captaincy.
said.
Come again.
Continue.
So captaincy for now, if I'm to get Salah and go straight on Salah, I won't waste my time with these 5 million, 6 million players. I don't have that time. I'm not going to sit down and now crack my brains over Charlie. Should I go Coutinho or should I go Rafinha? No, none of that. If I have Salah in the team, Charlie, just captain and then I can relax. I get Rafinha points, I no vex. I get Coutinho points, I no vex. Oh, I'm coming Huyanka. It's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But I don't want anything. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. So your call on captaincy should be silent no matter what. Okay, good. My captaincy has been
on Rafinha.
Okay. My captaincy has been on Coutinho since the game was updated last week. And
mine
since mine has been on Coutinho, almost every comment I'm hearing about Coutinho is not positive. And it's more like sister. And I'm more like, you go. Hey, because I followed updates from the games. Aston Villa, how they've changed their formation and stuff. It looks like Coutinho is not more involved yet, but still, I think Coutinho is Coutinho. So as at now, it's a very tough call for me. Maybe it might still be on him. Maybe I might go Salah, but I am personally planning on bench boosting this week. I'm planning on. I think that now that Norwich have a double. Though I'm not expecting anything more than 4 points or sometimes 3 points.
No. Raymond, don't say 4-3-0. It's 0. Because Williams will concede 2 goals.
Who is that? Matthews. Who is Matthews?
I'm going to see the team. I'm not going to see the team. I'm just saying that Williams is there, and then Bowen is there.
No. You see, just not to cut you. Last weekend, I don't know who I was telling. I was telling the person that I have Williams in my team. Then I started laughing at myself. I was like, okay, it's a 0. Because I should just take it that I have 9 players. You get the 90 minutes already. 90 minutes in your bubble. But at the end of the 90 minutes, you get 0. Because you concede 2, you get yellow. And it's the same every single game week. The same thing. Every game week, he gets a yellow. I don't know how he's not been banned because he gets a yellow every game week. And every game week, so they concede more than 1. So, in effect, you are just having him in as, you find it funny. You're just having him as a result of, Charlie, I needed a 3.9 midfielder defender. So, So that's it. So Ray, please go on. So forget him. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You have 13 players. So bring Matthews in so that you can have 14. Okay.
Yes. So the plan is I'm bringing in Ismail Assar, and then Mahrez has to go. So I'm going to bring in Mason Mount, and then Ismail Assar, Jose Sarr, the Wolves goalkeeper. So I have the Wolves goalkeeper and then Mount, and then I'll have a team I think I can bench boost, because this bench boost I'm going to wildcard in 31. When I wildcard in 31, it will be far away from game week 36, and it will be too far off for me to know how my team would be, and I don't think I might have any other certainty of how my team will be as by then, because maybe I might be just focusing on a few players. So I think it's better I bench boost now that I think I have players who all play one game week, and then once and for them means I'll forget our bench boost. So that is my plan. I'm planning on bench boosting. So I'm bringing in Sarr, the Wolves goalkeeper, and then Mount, or I'll bring in Mendy. I'll bring in Mendy, and then I'll bring in James Ward-Prowse. So that's it. That's it.
-4 at the end they won't die.
No. This week I have to do. If I don't do it, my bench boost will be wasted. So I should play Mahrez, right? You said I should play Mahrez.
Sorry,
No, don't play him.
So, shall I play Mahrez? Or you want me to play Mahrez? Pep will bench him again. Then Pep will come and tell us that he's the best attacker that City have. So Pep, telling me, I don't mind him.
Samal has a question, so can we answer Marvin? I think you can take Samal's question. Is Jimenez a good fit?
Well, can we move on to my team, because I was going to talk about Jimenez anyway. So
Okay, all right.
So then let's look at yours and then we'll come to that.
So well, honestly, my transfer plan, one of my transfer plans was because I'm sure I'll do a 4-3-3 formation. Because Cancelo, Livramento has a double, Dina has a double, Dalo I don't talk about Dalo safe. Alexander Arnold will come in for Dalo. So I'll have Son, Ramsey, and I'll bring in Saka. Bowen, I'll bring in Salah, Son. Yes, I've confused myself. Salah, Son, and who again, Grandpa? Ramsey has a double too. So that's 3 midfielders, right?
Selecting your players will be very difficult this week.
I cope my body weight. So at the back is Cancelo, Alexander Arnold, and I've got Livramento and Dina for the double. Of course, I'm going to play for stuff like here. This one you don't even think about it, because you also have a double. And in midfield, I have Son, I'll have Salah, I'll have Ramsey. Okay, those 3. I think I have to bench Saka.
But you have Saka.
No, but I have to bench. Otherwise, my team won't fit, because I have Watkins, who has a double. I have Dennis, who has a double. And Weghorst not there. Weghorst not there. Also, me too. Weghorst not there. So I can't say me never come there.
But you can play a 4-4-2. You can play a 4-4-2, or
I think that is where he is as now. So 4-4-2.
No, I can play 4-4-2. I can play 4-3-3. Because I was considering 4-3-3 because of the double up. So if I take out Weghorst, I can bring in something like Jimenez for the 2 games. Do you understand?
I don't do it.
Okay. Yeah.
See,
which means I have to do 4-3-3.
Okay. I don't mean to cut you, but
if not, then
okay, let him finish.
If not, what I have to do is I can do the 4-4. I can actually do the 4-4-2, which means that if I do a 4-4-2, relax. So if I do a 4-4-2, that means that Weghorst will be bench, of course. So I'll play Son, Ramsey, Saka, and who? Bowen. But Bowen is playing against Liverpool.
That's what I'm saying. You bench Bowen.
So okay, so Saka, so Son, Ramsey, no, Roland. Son, yes. Ramsey, Salah, and Saka. That's 4. So to be a 4-4-2. So that means Bowen will be bench and Weghorst will be bench. Okay, yeah. I guess what you mean.
Why don't you bench boost?
Bench boost who?
It was just a joke.
Who else?
It's what you just said, too.
Charlie, don't anger me. Workhorse. You want me to bench those workhorse? Are you okay? Don't listen.
So,
I'm not
so,
going to. I'm not
so,
going to.
so
I'm not
I
going to
get
bench
Jimenez.
those.
I get Jimenez or not. I get Jimenez
So
or
that's
not.
so the Jimenez was my first choice because of the fact that I don't want to play Workhorse. I want Workhorse to go because Workhorse he already defects me. How can
Okay.
somebody you play 2 games? Yeah, you get 3. What's the meaning of that?
But you've forgotten that Emmanuel Dennis had minus one or minus something.
No. You see, the Workhorse hype was too much. The Workhorse hype was the guy got 2 points. And he was on Roland's bench. I was happy he was on Roland's bench. I brought a guy in that I'm getting him at the right time. Then he gets 3. What's the meaning of that?
Precious,
Anyway,
what's your team?
Precious, let's
So
continue. Let's continue. It clearly shows I'm confused.
Somehow says that he doesn't want your answer. So
Somehow the review or one
Precious, you
we
talk.
don't
Precious,
consider
talk
him
about
because
what's your plan?
I don't know where he's going in the games that are coming. So you Precious, go ahead.
Wait, just before Precious comes in, you know, I was talking about Jimenez, even though he was one of the players on my, you know, my how do you call it, my picks for the week. Getting him in, if you already have him, just keep him. But getting him in, I'm too some way about it. I don't think that his stats are good for reading. And when you watch the game, he wants to play like a number 10. So instead of being up front, he wants to, you know, come back. Yes, so it's more like the way Kane has been playing, right? And he doesn't have pace. That's the thing. He doesn't have pace to match that of Podence and Neto and the other forwards. So when he drops back, it's more or less an assist he's going to give you. So if you want to bring him in, I'd rather bring Broja in than to get Jimenez. So that's one thing I want you to look at. And in the first game, you get returns. You get returns. Okay. But the thing is, you be he's gotten returns. Then early on in the game, you get returns. You're like, Charlie, I'm waiting for more. The game will end. You don't get anything again. so don't even bother yourself. So don't bother yourself. You see, I've been burnt by all these players. You see that today I'm not smiling too much. Fatigue and annoyance from my players not doing so well. Mixed together. It's been fused together. So I also
all the players like they are confused. Like everybody's putting me off because first I had to continue my mind. Now Precious has put me off continue. And we can get continue. Can't think about this because I'm blocked.
Let's just talk about your team, right? Let's go.
Let's go.
I didn't know this season. There's just not a lot of consistency between the players. The only player that I can say this one there, if you want to do -4 to get is Salah. Like honestly, all the other players, they are not consistent. And as for Jimenez, what I would say is if you have him, keep him. But if you want to get him and you think you have to do a -4 to get him, Massa, just play whoever. And that goes that applies to all the strikers. That applies to all the strikers. This maybe except for Kane, but even Kane, he doesn't have a double. He doesn't have a double. He has a double next week. So maybe for next week, if you want to do -4 for Kane, I would definitely suggest that. But we'll see this week because Spurs to their up and down.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Kane, all the forwards are matriculed this season because Kane, you hold this game week, and the next game week you get
vanish. Precious, so what are you doing this week? What's your plans?
Okay, so let me see.
Transfer.
1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 players with a double this week.
Okay.
So, and I don't want to play any chips yet because I think my team is pretty good for next week's double. I think next week's double is better because Arsenal and Liverpool double. So
Liverpool and then some and
Spurs. Oh yeah, next week double. So I think I am set for next week double because I have Salah, I have Trent, I have Saka and Son. So what I'll do is I'll attack my weakest points, which is the goalkeeper. I'm getting De Gea out, and I'll get it was between Ozesa and Mendy, but I was waiting for the Chelsea doubles to be announced. So I'm taking out De Gea for Mendy. So now I'll have 5 doublers. And then because I want a 6th one, because I think a lot of people will either be wildcarding or bench boosting. They'll be playing a chip this week. So I don't want to. I don't mind a red arrow, but I just don't want the red arrow to be too much. So I want to bring in another doubler. So I'll take out, and since I don't trust any of the forwards,
Workhorse, mention his name.
I want to take him out, but I'm not going to do a -4 I'm not going to waste a -4 around that guy. So I think I'll take out Bowen. He's playing Liverpool. West Ham, their attack has been a little stale lately. I don't know whether they are tired. I don't know. So I'll take him out for a doubler. And now I'm trying to decide. So maybe you guys can give me a hand. Maybe we can discuss it between a Chelsea midfielder or the Chelsea midfielders to, I don't even know. Is it Mount? Is it
Ziyech? Mount.
Between a Chelsea midfielder and who?
And
Coutinho.
You're also qualified for the trap. Second week running. Okay. We gladly welcome you. We gladly welcome you.
But so, if you are going, the question is, if you are going for a Chelsea midfielder, who would you be going for? Because the issue with Chelsea is that unless you are convinced that Mount will play both games, or because
the most likely
the Chelsea midfield is also suspect because you don't
know
who's Raymond. It's not most likely. That's why today's show is called the Tuchel Tombola, because he has made it very clear that the number of games that they have, he's going to rotate. Players will not. He's not going to burn them out because they are in 3 different competitions still. So he's not going to burn them out. You get it. So they'll be switching. Pulisic, Mount, Loftus-Cheek, Saul, Jorginho, Kovacic. Like even Kai Havertz, they'll be switching. So I think if you do it, fine. It has a higher upside, but just be careful.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. Then I guess Coutinho. I mean, this if
Peace in magic.
You started without Coutinho. You ended with Coutinho.
I mean, I think this is the game week to take risks, because I'm going to captain Rafinha.
Sure. Okay.
This is a game week to take risks because anything can happen. Like everybody's team is different, and all the players, we are not sure whether they will hit or not. So what I would say is my decision. If it doesn't work out, am I going to regret it? No, because what was the alternative, right? So that's how I think about it.
So Rafinha for you. Okay. Continue for me. Marvin, who are you captaining this week?
I'm sorry, I honestly don't know. I'm not going to lie to you.
Rowland, who are you captaining?
I'll decide by this thing because it's too confusing. Is it I'm going to captain Salah, who has 1 game week, or do I look at Watkins? Who else in my team there?
Rowland, who are you captaining?
It's too confusing.
I have 3 options. I'll look at Salah, I'll look at Rafinha, and lastly Coutinho.
Hey, so these are the 3 top captain picks from the FPL managers for this week. Glad to have such a very wonderful show. We have been able to get very close, and I want to try and hit it under an hour today. Thanks, Precious, for being here with us. Marvin, as Mr. Owusu, Rowland at Rowland Ekuban, myself at Raymond Nketsiah. Precious Arku is on Twitter at Anaronic Flat Eta. It's in the description, so you can get a link from there as well. So all the best to us. I believe we are all ready for this game week and then the game weeks that follow, right? Sure. And I'm sure Precious will surely have you before the season ends.
Oh yeah,
and we'll be waiting to see you in the top 10 as well.
For sure.
So all the best to us all. Let's finish the season very strong and we'll see how it goes then. Okay. Thanks, managers, for watching. And please, let's like it. I forgot again today. Rowland and Marvin, a shout out to our lady for the video. Please, quickly.
Yes, Vanessa Dabre, thank you for composing a video for us in a short time. Yes, and thanks for everything, for all the short notices that you do stuff for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, bye.